morning, everyone. So for today, we are going to discuss about the natural law. How do we know what's the right and wrong? Is it based on intuition, reason, cultural norms, or something else entirely? At the end of this video, we will know if it is based to those kind of questions. Ano nga ba ang concept ng natural law? Natural law, ito yung mga idea na meron siyang universal morals and legal principles. Yung mga legal principles na ito ay nag-i-exist independently sa human-made laws or ever-changing social customs. Yung social customs, ito yung mga unwritten rules kung paano tayo mag-behave sa mga different kind of situations. Gaya ng pagtakip ng bibig pag umuubo, pagpila ng maayos, at pagsunod sa mga dress code. Gaya na lang sa school. Next, we have the history of natural law. The natural law is the idea of universal moral principles existing beyond human laws. It has roots in ancient Greece with Socrates and Plato emphasizing reason in finding moral truths. Thomas Aquinas in the Middle Ages linked it to God's law. Debated today, natural law offers a framework to judge laws and social norms against a universal moral compass. Aspects of natural law theory date back to Plato, who posited the existence of transcendental forms, Plato 1992. Particular instances of these forms, such as the good, the true, and the beautiful, are reflected in human life. To see the forms of the good or to have a clear idea of it, and incarnate it once this is both a cause of consequence of wisdom. And we have here the two philosophers, Cicero and Saint Thomas Aquinas. Cicero, siya yung nag-emphasize ng concept of universal law of reason. And St. Thomas Aquinas argued natural law is discoverable through reasons and reflects God's law. And Cicero believed in universal law based on reason, which is human can access through their own reason. This natural law is nag-guide us through towards justice and forms na nagbe-base sa good human laws. Human-made laws that contradict natural law aren't true laws in Cicero's view. And according to Aquinas' theology, natural law is integral to divine providence. Eternal law, itong law na ito is overarching law, which is established by God, which is nagbibigay sa atin ng order to the chaos of creation. The portion of eternal law pertaining to human being is, to Aquinas, natural law. The concept of natural law, a universal moral code, originated with ancient Greeks like Plato and Aristotle. Roman thinkers like Cicero and St. Thomas built upon it, emphasizing reason's role in uncovering this law. Christianity intertwined natural law with God's law, while the Enlightenment era used it to justify individuals' rights and limited government. Today, natural law's foundation, like reason, religion, or both, is still debated, but its influence on legal and ethical theories persists. And now, let's understand natural law. Ang natural law ay nadidiscover by consistently making choices for good instead of evil. Some schools of thought believe that natural law is passed to humans via a divine presence. Ethics of natural law. Ang konsepto ng morality ng natural law ay hindi subjective. Meaning, ang tama at mali ay pantay-pantay lang for everyone, everywhere. The natural law approach to solving ethical dilemmas begins with the basic belief that everyone has the right to live their life. From there, natural law theories draw a line between an innocent life and the life of an unjust aggressor. The natural law theory recognizes the legal and moral concept of self-defense, which is often used to justify acts of war. Natural law theory is not always a simple school of thought. It should come as no surprise that the ethics associated with natural law are equally complicated. The idea that the definition of what is right and what is wrong is the same for every person is sometimes difficult to apply to complex ethical dilemmas.
John Finnis is an Australian legal scholar and professor at law at Oxford. In his book Natural Law and Natural Rights, he presented a set of 7 fundamental goods for humankind. These goods are life, knowledge for its own sake, friendship and sociability, play for its own sake, aesthetic experience, practical reasonableness, in example, the ability to reason correctly about what is best for yourself and to act on those decisions, and religion, in example, a connection with and participation with the orders that transcend individual humanity.
The non-requirements of practical reason. One of the 7 basic good is practical reason. You participate in this good by making rational decisions that maximize your participations in the other goods by choosing good projects to pursue, by making moral decisions, and so on. In order to correctly participating in practical reason, you need to fulfill 9 sub-requirements. These 9 requirements are self-evident in the same way that the basic goods are self-evident. The 9 requirements of practical reason. First, you should view your life as a whole and not live moment to moment. Meaning, it is important to consider your long-term goals and plans when making decisions, rather than just focusing on the immediate gratifications of the moment. Second, you naturally have to prioritize certain goods over others. An academic would prioritize knowledge higher than a trading, but you should always do so with good reason. You should never arbitrarily discount one of the basic goods. It is okay to prioritize some goods over others, but that you should always have a good reason for doing it. Third, basic goods apply equal to all people. You can be self-interested to the extent that you are in the good position to look after yourself, but you should always take into account the good of others. Meaning that while it's alright to prioritize certain basic goods over others, depending on your life goals or situation, you should always do so with good reason. Fourth, you should make sure that you do not become obsessed with a particular project and keep the perspective that the project is a participation of a basic good. This advice encourages dedication while also reminding you to prioritize your well-being and keep the project's purpose in mind. Number 5, you should actually do projects and make an effort to improve. Don't just sit around or repeat old habits. Taking on objects is an investment in yourself. It's about pushing your boundaries, unlocking your potential, and experiencing the joy of accomplishment. Number 6, you should calculate and plan your action so that they are the most efficient in a utilitarian sense and do the most good. It says the best choices and the ones that brings the most happiness and well-being to the most people. 7, you should never commit an act that directly harms a basic good, even if it will indirectly benefit a different basic good. For example, you should not kill even if it will indirectly save more lives later. This principle protects fundamental rights. It says that there are certain givens like life and liberty that shouldn't be sacrificed even for a seemingly greater good. Utilitarianism might say it's okay to break one egg, harm a basic good, to make a delicious cake or benefit another good. This view says, hold on. Some things are just off limits no matter the potential benefit. 8, you should foster the common goods of the community. This means that people should act in a way that benefits the whole community, not just themselves. This could involve things like volunteering, helping others in need, and following laws and social norms. 9, you should act according to your conscience and practical reason, not the authority of someone else. And next, we have natural law versus positive law. Sinasabi dito na law should reflect those moral principles, not just be whatever someone's make up. Positive law, like traffic rules, is important, but it should ideally line up with this natural law's compass. Take note, Natural laws are inherent in us as human beings. Positive laws are created by us in the context of society. Examples of natural law abound, but philosophers and theologians throughout history have differed in their interpretations of this doctrine. Theoretically, the precepts of natural law should be constant throughout time and across the globe because natural law is based on human nature, not on culture or customs. When a child tearfully exclaims, "It's not fair," or when viewing a documentary about the suffering of war, we feel pain because we're reminded of the horrors of human evil. And in doing this, we are also providing evidence for the existence of natural law. A well-accepted example of natural law is our society is that it is wrong for one person to kill another person.
What is consistent with the natural law is right and what is not in keeping with the natural law is wrong. Note, the above statement does not mean what is natural is morally correct and what is unnatural is morally wrong. Natural law versus positive law. The focus is on the natural laws and not simply natural acts. Natural law theory supports doing unnatural deeds such as surgery for the sake of realizing a restoration of health and the prolongation of human life, which are each consistent with the natural drives of organisms' survival. In this view, humans have reasoning and the laws of nature are discernible by human reason. Thus, humans are morally obliged to use the reasoning to discern what the laws are and then to act in conformity with them. Natural law isn't just about following everything nature throws our way. It's about using our reason to understand our inherent purpose, which is often tied to survival and well being. Humans have a natural drive to eat, drink, sleep, and procreate. These actions are in accord with the natural law for species to survive and procreate. Thus, activities in conformity with such a law are morally good. Activities that work against that law are morally wrong. As an example, consider that to eat too much or too little and place life in jeopardy is morally wrong. Impact of natural law. Under natural law, everyone is afforded the same rights, such as the right to live and the right to happiness. Natural law is evident in and shapes many of our laws, business policies, and human rights agendas. However, unlike these systems, its rules do not change and are inherently assigned to everyone. Challenging unjust laws. Slavery. Natural law provides ammunition against slavery. Since natural law possesses inherent human rights, it exposes slavery's violation of these rights, like liberty. This moral argument can then be used to challenge the legal systems in fight for abolition. Natural law posits that all humans have inherent rights, like the right to liberty. Slavery, by definition, denies these fundamental rights, making it a clear violation. And now let's head to our conclusion. Significance of natural law. The enduring significance of natural law lies in its ability to provide a foundation for morality, law, and human rights that transcends cultural and legal boundaries. In conclusion, natural law has revealed its enduring power as a champion for justice and human rights. By providing a universal moral compass, natural law transcends cultural and religious boundaries, reminding us of our inherent human dignity and fundamental rights. This framework empowers us to challenge unjust laws and advocate for legal systems that uphold fairness and equality. The influence of natural law is undeniable, shaping the very foundation of human rights. It reminds us that these rights are not mere creations of human law, but inherent aspects of our natural condition. As the search of universal moral principles continues, natural law serves as a powerful tool in our pursuit of a just world where human rights are respected for all.